Shock the system. Bulletcast for life.
Hello, this is the one and only son of Zack Sabre, the historic and legendary British wrestler. You are listening to the Bullet Cast, and I hope you enjoy the words that they will say on this podcast, and you can have lots of fun about wrestling. Cheers.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You know the name, you know the voice, you know exactly why I'm here. Just in case if you don't, I'm the Podfather, the Messiah of the microphone, the greatest sports recreational podcaster in the world today. I'm also a 23-year-old piece of gold. And why am I here? It's simple. I'm here to lead the evolution in this audio revolution, but you know I never do it alone. You know who's on the line. He's my tag team partner, the Jimmy to my J, the Telly to my Arn, the Stevie Ray to my Booker T. Ladies and gentlemen, he is one of the founding fathers of curveballs and chair shots. He's the creator of the award-winning Under the Radar. He's the current 6-time and first ever Bullet Cast champion. He's the champ of the BC, BT, the Canadian Destroyer, Brandon Tan Guma. How's it going, buddy?
Wow, that was a hell of an intro there. Just keeps getting longer and longer.
I do feel like the intros on this show have gotten better. You can at least say that.
It's the only part of the podcast that's gotten better.
Whoa. The content has gotten better. The time that we've talked has gone longer. We're doing this here, man.
Yeah, I mean, you know, was this episode 130?
This is episode 130 for 130. I mean, that's not the name of the episode, but you know. I remember the 30th episode, though. That was interesting. We had the other Portuguese guy on there, and you didn't like him because you thought you were a lone soldier in that department.
Yeah, he was stealing my gimmick.
It's okay. He hasn't been back since. You know, you got some pull around here, Brandon. Never forget, you're the first BC champ.
Damn right I do.
All right, well, let's hop into it, ladies and gentlemen. All Elite Wrestling on TNT, October 2nd, 2019. I think it's 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Hey, man, Wednesdays in October, and for the remainder of however long the company is going to be in existence, are about to get elite. I'm very excited, Brandon. I don't know about yourself.
Yeah, we speculated that maybe it was going to be on Tuesday, but it makes more sense for it to be on Wednesday since TNT has basketball for a long time throughout the year, so obviously they would get preempted and they move around or whatever. So have it on Wednesday, a nice solid time schedule. Don't have to, you maybe have to worry about playoff basketball, but we'll worry about that when we get there. Very exciting, not surprising, but exciting. And the first show going to take place in Washington, D.C. in the Capital One Arena, not like some little ballroom, a big-time NBA/NHL arena.
Yeah, I mean, this is huge news. I know Tony Khan has pull in a lot of places, not just in the NFL, but this is really exciting. I'm so incredibly happy for these guys. If we had heard about an idea of another company starting up and running shows at all these big venues and then being on TNT, we would have said no. That's ludicrous. That wouldn't happen. But now looking back on it, like it's a crazy journey that these guys have taken. Do you think this would have happened without Cody?
Without Cody?
Yeah.
I think, yes. I think Tony Khan had a vision. I think he wanted to do this. If Cody wasn't there, maybe the Elite would still be together. They would have, maybe Marty Scurll would be in spot of Cody Rhodes, or maybe... I don't know if you'd pick some other WWE person, or maybe there'd be another person out there that would kind of be in place of Cody. But I'm not going to sit here and say if Cody wasn't there that this whole thing would still be happening. But I think he's still an integral part to the whole thing. And we still don't really know, what the power dynamic is compared to Khan and the Elite and all those guys. And, is everybody really just one vote and, everybody has to agree? Or is it like, the Senate where everything's just all effed up and it's all going to be...
You see,
yeah.
I watch a lot of the post-match stuff because I subscribe to Chris Van Vliet. And, you watch this, Tony Khan has the last say on everything, but... they have like multiple group texts and they throw out ideas, and if the majority thinks it's a good idea and if Tony really thinks it's a good idea, then it kind of gets moved forward. So I think that's interesting dynamic. But Cody, I'm not taking anything away from the Bucks or Kenny or any of those guys, but he like you said, he's a very integral part in what's going on right now. If he hadn't have left WWE, would All In have happened? That's another thing you have to throw into there. But man, whoever leaves WWE, if they get let out of their contracts, Cody's the measuring stick for success outside of there, man. I don't think anybody else is ever going to live up to it.
I think Jon Moxley might live up to it. Maybe he's already surpassed with his performance in the G1. We can maybe talk about that a little bit later. But I think it is true that Cody Rhodes is someone who a lot of people in WWE probably aspire to be, because, you know, just a few years ago it seemed as though, and even maybe a little bit still today, that WWE is kind of a prison and it's like the only place you can really work if you want to make a bunch of money. But now Cody, the Bucks, Kenny, you know, even guys over in New Japan are showing that you can make a living outside of WWE. And I think we have seen in these, you know, the past maybe year or two that maybe the reins, no pun intended, have been taken off a little bit from on WWE, because I think they realize that they need to switch things up if they want to keep the talent that they have right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be very interesting to see what's going on with WWE. I mean, we're going to talk about what happened in the week that was in WWE, but moving forward, especially in October, because that's the same week as Fox. Yeah, so that's going to be a big week, Brandon. That might be the longest podcast we ever do, man.
Maybe, and maybe we're going to have to move our podcast days to Thursdays to get a fresh recap of AEW on Wednesday, TNT, whatever they call it.
That's true, man. Was it Wednesday Night Dynamite? Is that what they're going with?
SmackDown recaps might be a little stale, but who knows what SmackDown's going to look like, in
a couple months,
fall and winter.
Yeah, we shall see. All right, so I popped huge when I saw this on Instagram. CM Punk Phillip Jack Brooks will be at StarCast. He will be doing a signing, and he's also going to be doing a live open panel. Oh my God, Brandon, we must go. We must go. I don't think you know how much of a mark I am for CM Punk.
I love me some CM Punk. I wished he was at the Double or Nothing StarCast. He's at the Chicago StarCast, which makes sense because he lives there, so it's not that big of a flight. No flight whatsoever. He just has to kind of get in his car. Maybe he just has to take a nice leisurely stroll down to wherever StarCast is. But it's exciting news, and hopefully, the rate's not too outrageous to where some people get priced out. Hopefully, everybody gets to meet CM Punk, and this doesn't mean anything that he's going to AEW whatsoever.
No, I wasn't gonna say anything like that, but it's cool that he's really kind of starting to tiptoe his way back into the wrestling world by just even doing something like this. Will he ever wrestle again? That's been a debate for the majority of time, really, since he's been away. Honestly, we don't know. But if he ever wanted to step back in, the wrestling world would absolutely have him back. But it's just a matter of when or if it will ever happen. I'm actually trying to look up the CM Punk meet and greet price. I want to see for myself how much are they charging for Mr. Brooks. Jesus Christ.
If you're gonna tell me to put a bet on it, if CM Punk is gonna wrestle again, I think I'd put a little bit of money on it that he would wrestle again. I wouldn't bet the house. I think CM Punk is one of those guys who he's content with his life. If he ever gets the itch, he says he doesn't have the itch anymore. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. But I think, maybe within the next, we can technically say he wrestled because he hit a GTS on someone a few months ago. But I think one of these days we're going to get a CM Punk comeback. Maybe not a full-fledged one, but maybe, a spot here and there.
Yeah, so the CM Punk meet and greet price is not up yet, but that StarCast is more expensive than the Vegas StarCast, buddy. I'll tell you that right now.
Kind of interesting. The all in, all out is maybe going to be the central, maybe the biggest show for AEW. It makes a little bit of sense. I would kind of figure that maybe the Vegas one would be a little bit more expensive just because Vegas is more of a touristy place and maybe you could get more people in there. But it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And maybe the first StarCast was a little cheaper than the second StarCast, and now they just keep. I think they're kind of inching. That's kind of how economics work. You just kind of keep raising that price until you can you find your watermark where so you can get the nice even where it's a lot of people, and you get the most money out of it without turning so many people away.
Yeah, you had the gold bracelet, right?
Yeah, and I didn't really use it all that much because I went to like a tail end of a Sting show, and that was about it.
Yeah, it was $80 then, and this thing has shot up $57, so now it's $137. So that's those prices are going up. John Moxley, if you want to meet him, it's like $160. Feel free.
I mean, the Sting one that I got, that was not very cheap. It was about $150.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know what the Undertaker price was going to be.
Oh God, that would have broke my pockets for real. But yeah, Starcast, I'm excited. Hopefully we get the go ahead and we make that happen, Brandon. All right, so Will Ospreay and Randy Orton have a little Twitter back and forth. Not really a war on words, but they're just kind of pandering to the crowd. And let me see. Let me hit up the Twitter real quick. Will Ospreay, this is what he said to Randy. Realistically, nah, maybe you got me there. I'm happy, though. Hope you are happy where you are, but unfortunately, my friend, I'm here for the long run. I mean, you're like a multi-time champ. You could just leave for a bit and come over here. And Randy says he'll ask on Tuesday night on SmackDown, which was yesterday. And then he put out Ospreay versus Orton June 2020, which is when his contract expires because he signed a 10-year deal in 2010. So what are your thoughts on Randy Orton possibly leaving WWE next year?
I think it's just Randy Orton trolling. That's kind of what he does on the Twitter. Could he? Sure. Will he? Probably not. I just think of Randy Orton as a WWE lifer. He grew up in the business, grew up in the company. He has a good gig. As much as I bag on him for not being the best wrestler and kind of just being kind of lackadaisical, he makes he's probably like one of the highest paid guys in that company. And I think him leaving, maybe he's not going to get blackballed, but I think he might. It all depends on what really Randy Orton wants. Does he want to go out there and work the indie scene and just pick and choose and have great matches, or just have matches against people he's never worked for? Maybe. I just don't think that's the kind of guy Randy Orton is.
It would be cool to see. What are your thoughts on Orton versus Ospreay?
It would be a fun novelty match. We saw Ospreay versus Vader. We've seen Ospreay versus some other, novelty acts, and maybe Ospreay could pull Randy Orton, and he can maybe get a 4-star match out of Randy Orton, because Will Ospreay, I keep saying, is probably the best wrestler in the world right now, and we are going to talk about him a little bit later.
I don't know, but Randy Orton, he puts asses in seats, man. You can't deny Randy Orton. Like, people will crap on him for being boring or whatever, but everybody pops for that RKO. Brandon, I know you pop for the 3 most dangerous letters in sports entertainment.
He's got a good gig. He shows up, hits his move, and leaves. It's almost kind of like Stone Cold.
Come on. Like, you have to admit, in that Battle Royal where Seth won to become #1 contender to Brock, weren't you cheering for Orton a little bit?
No.
Wow, man. Randy's a nice guy. Okay? Randy's a nice guy.
I didn't say he wasn't a nice guy.
Well,
now, his wife, on the other hand, she's a little firecracker.
Oh, really? You got some stories? What's going on there?
I watched the Table for Three with her, Kurt Angle's wife and Rebby Sky.
Oh, yeah, I did watch that. Let's not speak of Rebby Sky on this podcast.
Why, you don't like Rebby Sky? What's wrong with Rebby Sky?
After the whole Ashley Massaro death thing and the tweeting out smiley faces, she could say it's for something else, but, we're not stupid,
Okay, she's been Chris Benoit from the podcast.
Oh, okay, sure. I didn't want to say it like that. I didn't want to do it like that, but okay.
I'll keep it 100.
Okay, hey, that's what you do. You tell the people the truth. All right, Tommaso Ciampa. I'm actually wearing a Ciampa shirt right now. What are the odds? So he's in a recent interview, he said he didn't know where he was going to go back, but he said it was going to be NXT. That's where he would love to go back and get Goldie back. And I've been seeing his workouts on Instagram. He's looking pretty jacked, man. He's looking like he's ready to go. He's still quite a ways away, but thought if you've seen Ciampa's recovery so far, Brandon, what do you think about that? And then also, what do you think about Ciampa going back to NXT to reclaim Goldie?
I haven't really seen too much of his recovery, but we saw him at the takeover whenever Johnny Gargano won, and he seemed in good spirits. And I think he was on the pre-show talking about his recovery. It seems as though it's going pretty well. He's probably still going to be gone for the remainder of the year. Maybe we see him for the Royal Rumble, maybe the Royal Rumble takeover, or he runs an angle at the Survivor Series takeover, something like that. I mean, it makes sense for him to go to NXT. It's kind of where he's been. It's where he knows. And even when he was there in Raw and SmackDown for a couple weeks, they didn't exactly use him the best way possible.
No, they did not. He was just teaming with Johnny Gargano. It was like the heel version of DIY. I love Tommaso Ciampa. Like he was a great heel. He was probably the most over heel in wrestling at that time. I mean, no music, just a scowl on his face, beating up his best friend, and then winning the NXT title, then getting that badass theme song, and really just putting it all together. He had a really good match with Velveteen Dream at that Takeover War Games. You were there, right?
Yes, I was there.
I really enjoyed it.
Fantastic match, even though I couldn't see anything.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it. It translated well on screen. I couldn't imagine how well it translated on in the arena. But yeah, Tommaso Ciampa, he's put it all together. He's a badass, man. He's gonna get a huge pop. I think he does need to return at the if he's cleared at the Royal Rumble takeover. If not, the takeover before WrestleMania, that'd be cool too. All right, moving on from that. Apparently, Dark Side of the Ring has been renewed for Season 2. I was reading a couple articles about it. In every article that I read, there was a picture of Gino Hernandez. So my speculation is there's going to be a Part 2 episode to the Gino Hernandez story. First of all, thoughts on Dark Side of the Ring getting renewed for Season 2? And then, would you be interested in getting a more deep dive into the Gino Hernandez story?
Yes, for the Gino Hernandez Part 2. I felt as though it was a very good one. I said that I didn't really know a whole bunch about that story in particular, so I felt as that was one of the better ones out of the entire series, as the series as a whole. I enjoyed it. I had some quibbles on some of the episodes, but for the most part, I thought it was good. Maybe, kind of a nice introductory or, kind of middle of the road type deep dive into some of these topics. Some of them I knew a lot about. Some of them I didn't know a lot about. I don't know. The wrestling business has gone on for over 100 years, and you can probably pick a whole bunch of different stories in the Dark Side of the Ring. I mean, the wrestling business, so many stories to tell. So, Part 2 for Gino Hernandez, maybe some other ones. Maybe they go to Chris Benoit. I know that's been done a bunch of times as well. But, there's stories to be told, and I think Viceland is going to do a good job telling those stories.
Yeah, absolutely. I really do think they will. I think the Chris Benoit is probably the best way to go for a new episode, because I really haven't seen that much about it. I'm not gonna lie to you, I haven't. I think those guys did an incredible job with what they did with Dark Side of the Ring. Gather up some people who are willing to talk about Chris Benoit. I think Jericho would probably most likely be on there, and I don't know who else was really close to Chris in the business, but I think that'd be interesting. Maybe they get David Benoit on there.
Or you get Chavo or some other WCW guys, Conan.
Yeah, Chavo coming to the Bay in a couple weeks. Pretty excited. Brandon and I will be at that APW Sucka Free show. If you see us, say hi.
All right. Don't be a stranger.
Don't be a stranger. All right, so Ricochet had to miss Monday Night Raw because apparently he has an elbow infection. I don't know the seriousness of this infection, but hopefully it clears up pretty soon so we can get back into his feud with the phenomenal AJ Styles. Any thoughts on this infection?
It's sad to hear Ricochet having this elbow infection. Don't know the severity of it. It seems as though that whole DX angle with Seth Rollins was supposed to be with Ricochet. It made a lot of sense because Ricochet and AJ had their feud going. We can talk about the angle in a whole little bit later, but Ricochet, hopefully he gets well enough for SummerSlam. SummerSlam just kind of creeped up on me. I think I just kind of assumed because usually it's like late August, but it's only going to be in a few weeks, so it's coming up. It's getting close.
It is. It's getting close, baby. All right, so WWE to the Bay Area. Listen for if you live in the Bay Area. All right, September 23rd and September 24th, Monday and Tuesday. The new Chase Center that is being built in San Francisco will be the home of Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live for those 2 nights. Tickets go on sale August 3rd at 10 a.m. This is really exciting, man. Monday Night Raw is going to start at 4 p.m. and then SmackDown will start at 4:45. And then I think I saw that we're getting a pay-per-view this year too, aren't we?
I don't know. I'm still waiting for NXT to give us a reimbursement of that takeover we're supposed to have. But I'm not salty about that whatsoever.
Yeah, I think Hell in the Cell is going to be in Stockton, not Stockton. Where's that Gold One Arena? Where's that at? Sacramento, right?
Sacramento.
Yeah.
It's a very good arena. They held the No Mercy there a few years ago. Dolph Ziggler and The Miz, one of the best matches I've ever seen live. I know, putting over The Miz and Dolph Ziggler, but it's a damn good match.
Yeah, I believe Hell in the Cell is going to be there in October. Listen, I've experienced Hell in the Cell live. It's one of the best gimmick matches you can see live. Brandon, I highly suggest you make a trip out to it, man.
I mean, honestly, I did make the trip out there a few years ago. I really did like the arena. If you haven't been in the Sacramento Golden One Arena, it's beautiful. And the Chase Center seems cool. But if I'm going to choose between going to either a Raw or SmackDown across the Bay or making the trip up to Sacramento for a pay-per-view, I think I'd rather just go to Sacramento for the pay-per-view because I know that's going to be at least a good show.
I mean, if things start to improve in the next coming months, man, you might have to make a trip to Raw or SmackDown or maybe even both.
I'll see what the market looks like. I don't think I'm going to buy tickets straight away like I used to. I'll kind of wait, maybe see if I can get some good on StubHub or maybe, some later tickets on the Ticketmaster.
Yes, abso-freaking-tootin'-lootin'ly. All right, inside of the ring, Adam Cole versus Johnny Gargano. 2 out of 3 falls is set for NXT TakeOver Toronto. And so the way this is going to work is Cole's going to pick a fall, Gargano's going to pick a fall, and then if it comes to a third fall, William Regal is going to pick a fall. Now, this is the 3 stages of hell match that I've been wanting WWE to bring back for quite some time. Basically, Cole could pick a Falls Count Anywhere match. Gargano could pick a submission match, and then if it has to come to a third fall, they could be entrapped inside steel cage, or it could be a ladder match or something like that. Every match has a stipulation. Every portion of the match has a stipulation. I love this match. It's cool. It's unique. It hasn't been done in well over a decade. I think even it hasn't been done in like more than 15 years. Brandon, what are your thoughts on 3 stages of hell making a return?
Yeah, this stipulation kind of came out of nowhere. You get the first match being 2 out of 3 falls, and now the third match being 2 out of 3 falls, and now they add the extra stipulations to it. Should be fun. I do like the extra gimmickry. I don't understand why they did the 2 out of 3 falls match the first time, but that's besides the point. Should be fun. They haven't really told that story yet on NXT television, but I have faith that they're going to do a good job. And I don't know exactly what the gimmicks are going to be. Maybe Adam Cole pulls out a Nikki Cross and makes the first fall a handicap match. Even though it's not a stipulation, it's just a different match. But if Nikki Cross could do it, why can't Adam Cole?
Exactly. I'm excited. Gargano and Cole, they do good business together, so it's going to be very, very exciting. All right, so we speculated it after Cody got hit in the head with the chair, and it's happening. They just haven't really made it official. But Cody Rhodes, Shawn Spears, all out. If you watched the Shawn Spears interview with the good old JR, Tully Blanchard, a horseman, is now the advisor to a young Shawn Spears. What are your thoughts on Spears acquiring the services of Tully Blanchard?
It's an interesting pairing. I wouldn't have thought about that and put those two guys together. I think it's a good story because I don't know if you've seen the latest AEW Road to All Out, but they had a sit-down interview with Tully, and he just basically cut a promo about how he knows how the Rhodes family ticks and what gets under their skin and how, Shawn Spears was never really utilized to the best of his abilities, and he's going to, teach him how to beat a Rhodes because he knows how to beat a Rhodes. And I think it's a good, solid story. And once again, Cody is going to have one of the better stories going into a match. And that's, usually that's what happens. You can have work rate and flippy doos and all you want, but if you have a good story behind it, you get the people invested. It's going to be at least a good match.
Yeah, man, I've been saying it on this podcast forever. The Rhodes family, they can tell a damn good story. I'm really excited for it, man. I mean, Tully Blanchard, I think he's one of the most underrated performers, wrestlers of all time. I mean, really, that suplex where he just bounces him off the top rope and then just drops him. I mean, it's beautiful. It's so simple. Got the job done back in the '80s. Won a couple tag titles with Arn with it. I mean, just really, really good-ish, man. Seriously.
I'm hoping that maybe since Tully's there, that maybe Tessa comes to AEW and can be the top woman in that division, because I'm very high on Tessa Blanchard.
I'm very high on her as well. Did you meet her at the Cow Palace at one time?
I did not.
Oh, she was super cool. She was super chill, man. She's a badass. I love Tessa Blanchard. I'm ready for her to have a really prime spot in the wrestling world. I know she's been doing stuff with Impact. Impact has improved, but honestly, I want to see Charlotte versus Tessa really bad. But I think there could be some good business done with Tessa in AEW. She could be the Charlotte of that place, just running roughshod over everybody.
Yeah, I don't know when her contract is up with Impact, but I mean, I don't think I'm hyperbolic in saying that if once her contract runs out, she could be the hottest free agent we've seen in quite some time, maybe since Jon Moxley, because I think she's just that good. And I mean, we saw her at the Mae Young Classic, the first one, but I just think she's gotten so much better since then.
Yeah, I mean, we shall see. Apparently, if you have a contract with Impact, you can just go show up on TV at another promotion. We're going to talk about that when we talk about the Raw Reunion. But coming up next, so apparently Charlotte Flair is going to be going up against Trish Stratus at SummerSlam. It's in Canada. Trish is Canadian. I get it, repping the people. But what are your thoughts on Charlotte versus Trish, generation versus generation here?
It's an interesting matchup if you're not going to have Charlotte be in either of the title matches. It's almost kind of like those WrestleMania Legends matches against The Undertaker, where it's like, it's almost a bigger deal because you're facing the legend. But I don't know what the story's going to be. Is it just going to be, I'm the best from today, you're the best from yesterday, get out of here, old lady, and blah, 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 blah. I think they could tell a good story. I mean, there's 2 weeks left for them to tell the story, so they gotta hurry it up if this match is going to happen. But I mean, the few matches that Trish has had since her official retirement have been pretty good. Haven't been blow away by any means, but I think Charlotte, I mean, I have kind of ragged on Charlotte a little bit that I don't think she's as good as everybody else thinks she is. So I'm not going to sit here and say it's going to be a 5-star classic by any means, but it should be fun, especially when you have, 2 of the women's matches involving somebody from Canada.
Yes. I mean, well, you know how I feel about Canada. Love it to death. But, I mean, Charlotte, dude, like, we've had this debate before, man. Like, she's good. She's so good, dude. Like, she surpassed Trish. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Charlotte is my favorite women's wrestler of all time now. She's hit that notch. Hell, she might be in my top 10 just wrestlers in general. She may be there. I'd have to do some really digging down to look into that list, but that might be the possibility. I mean, she's racked up title wins. Yes, sure. Her father has the most world title wins. She has the most world title wins. I understand that, but she's good, man. She is. Watch that feud. Go back and watch this stuff with Sasha from 2016. It was good-ish.
I'm just going to say, compare Becky's matches against Lacey Evans and then compare Charlotte's matches against Lacey Evans. There's a common thread there. So I'm just saying Becky's matches against Lacey were better than Charlotte's matches against Lacey.
Charlotte had like one match against Lacey, okay?
And that was one of the worst matches I've ever seen on TV.
I've seen some stinkers, and anytime Kenny Omega wrestles, it's absolute garbage. But
wow, I thought you were gonna stick with your Canadian boy.
We really don't like claim him.
You don't like Winnipeg? You don't like Winnipeg?
I mean, Jericho. I'm claiming Jericho all day. Okay. But we're not claiming Kenny. It's just not how it happens. I'm from Toronto anyway, so it doesn't even matter.
Okay, 6 upside down at the night now.
Yeah, shout out to the 6. Shout out Jersey.
Shout out.
Yep. All right.
Champagne Poppy.
Wait, what happened?
Champagne Poppy.
Champagne Poppy. I gotta find out why that's his name on Instagram. It's hilarious to me. All right, Smackville. This is gonna be a 1-hour special on the network. You got Finn Balor going up against Nakamura for the Intercontinental title, and you have Kofi Kingston defending the WWE Championship against Dolph Ziggler and Samoa Joe. I'll watch it. Wrestling on a Saturday, randomly. That's fine with me. It's just an hour. It's no biggie.
There's too much New Japan G1 action for me to be watching this crap.
Wow. The World Championship is going to be on the line, okay?
I am not degrading the Bulletcast Championship or and defending it against on Smackville. I know that's not what you meant, but
Hey, man. It's...
I am a fighting champion, so maybe we could put it on Smackville. I'm just gonna say right now, Kofi Kingston is gonna win that triple threat match.
Oh, of course.
Putting the house on it.
Putting the house on it. The house that AJ Styles built, you're putting it on it. Yeah, man. I was watching this, speaking of Kofi Kingston, let's just get into this. I was watching this video about, it was like top 10 injuries that happened in the ring or became permanent or something, and one of them is Kofi. If you watch Kofi wrestle, if you look at his chest, it looks like it's kind of indented in. 10 years ago, he had a match with the Big Show, and Show chopped him so hard that basically the print from the lower part of his palm is still in his chest.
That does not sound like fun.
No, it is not. Like looking back at him, like, oh my god, that's why his chest looks all weird like that. But it's not fun. Don't mess with Show.
But it is also genetics because Chris Jericho kind of has the same thing going on with his chest.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Jericho's chest either, man. That's weird. All right, let's hop into this day in wrestling. So there was Coliseum home video from 1987. Sherry Martel defeats Moolah for the women's championship, and this was during the time of Moolah's fabricated 30-year title run, where she actually lost the title like 5 times, but the company just wouldn't acknowledge that she lost it because backstage politics or whatever. There was a WWF house show on this day in 1999, 20 years ago. Wow. That your boy Edge won an Intercontinental Championship, defeated Jeff Jarrett, JEFFJARRETT. There was a Great American Bash on this day in 2005. Undertaker defeats Muhammad Hassan. Also, King Booker becomes World Heavyweight Champion, wins his 6th world title. We got some birthdays coming up here. Let me find out the birthday of the gentleman that is on the list, because I actually forgot to look it up while we were setting up this podcast. So, why don't you just talk? You want to talk about the gentleman whose birthday it is today? Oh wait, no, I found his birthday. Never mind. Shout out Zack Sabre Jr. You're 32 years old. Congratulations, buddy. And Torrie Wilson, WWE Hall of Famers, 44. Yeah.
Shout out Zack Sabre Jr. Maybe not having the best G1 climax in terms of winning, but he's putting on some damn good matches. Shout out to him.
You know what? Since it's his birthday, I'll throw his drop at the beginning of the pod.
And that's always my favorite one.
Yeah, it is. Shout out ZSJ. I love him. They call me Black Sabre Jr.
I've never heard anybody call you that, but okay.
I'm just joking. Nobody calls me that. And Torrie Wilson, shout out. She was on a Raw reunion a couple days ago.
Shout out Torrie Wilson. Great follow on Instagram.
She is. She really is. She's amazing. She stays very fit. All right, we're going to hop into the fan mail. Hootie Hoo.
Hootie Hoo, my boy.
Hootie Hoo 420, yes. Who is the one person that you would love to interview the most? Brandon, you want to take this one real quick?
It's probably someone that we would never get, but it'd probably be CM Punk, just because he doesn't do any interviews like that.
Yeah, I think for any person who covers this, I think the number one is always going to be Vince, hands down. But looking back out, I would still love that opportunity, but I mean, that's probably impossible for guys like us. I think Cody, that's my number one right now. I've written down questions since he's left WWE that I'd love to ask him, and they keep changing because he keeps doing so much.
I think another one of my other favorites, is probably either Daniel Bryan or Stone Cold. So right now I'm just being selfish and wanting to talk to my favorites.
Dude, or Jericho. I'd love to chop it up with Chris and Stone Cold. That'd be great while we're drinking some Steve Weisers. Chop it up at the Broken Skull Ranch.
The Broken Skull Ranch is closed, so you're going to have to go to 317 Gimmick Street. 316 Gimmick Street. I don't know what's going on with this house.
Oh man, 316 Gimmick Street, huh? I'm down for it. All right, we got a Kawam Shakar 90. This is the Instagram one. Here we go. I do believe that women's matches on WWE main shows nowadays are so boring, cookie cutter, and overscripted to the death that you want to go to sleep. Jesus. When you watch a women's match in AEW, like the 6-women's tag at Double or Nothing, or a women's match on the Indies or a TakeOver, they're 1,000 times better, and the ones on the current WWE main shows, they're 1,000 times better than the ones on the current WWE main shows, and that's the truth. What are your thoughts on that?
I think the women's division in WWE is a little stagnant at the moment, just because I think they've kind of just run through all the good matchups. We don't have Sasha. Becky and Bayley are on opposite sides. Charlotte has just been doing so much to where, if she faces either one of those girls, it doesn't really feel fresh. I think if you, get a new influx of talent put in there, put in Shayna, Mia Yim, Candice LeRae, Io, I think you can see a rejuvenation of the women's division. But I do agree that right now, the women's division in terms of in-ring quality isn't all that good. But hopefully, with the matches we're going to get on SummerSlam, that changes.
Yeah.
Because if that Charlotte Trish match does pan out, it might be the third out of the 3 women's matches, because I think those other 2 can be really good.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Kawam, he gave us some more, so let's hit it. What do you think about the flippy style of wrestling that's so common nowadays? Look, the people who can do those athletic maneuvers like that is absolutely incredible. 630 sentons, 730 DDTs, tope con hilos, tope suicidas, all that stuff is amazing. But me personally, I like all kinds of wrestling. Like, I could watch the flippy-ish all the time. I could, but I'm not going to. I like to tone it back, watch the British strong style, watch Japanese strong style, watch Joshi matches, Japanese death matches. I'll take it back to 1965 and watch Pat O'Connor go at it with Buddy Rogers or something. I'll take it back to 89 and watch Hogan and Savage. I'll go to 94 and watch Razor and Shawn. I'll go to, WCW Cruiserweights and watch Eddie and Mysterio tear it up. I like all types of wrestling, man. But the flippy-ish, it's okay. But let's have some real story behind why you're performing that move, while you're throwing yourself over the top rope onto your opponent. What's the story behind it? Not just because you can do it. You know what I mean, Brandon?
I agree with you. I mean, I love all different kinds of wrestling. You can say maybe PWG is more flippy-do, Lucha Libre is really flippy-do. But, I mean, it just kind of depends on what kind of mood I'm in. My favorite is probably the New Japan style, just because it's very sports-like. Yes, there are some qualms with it. I think it's a little dangerous at times. But, it has a time and place, just kind of what you said. Sometimes I don't think I think sometimes they overuse it. Sometimes, in WWE, it's kind of watered down to a T. I mean, what Ricochet was doing against Will Ospreay is nothing compared to what he's doing. What he's doing in WWE is nothing compared to what he was doing against Will Ospreay on the indie scene.
That's absolutely very true. It really all just depends. So I'm gonna read you another question here. What do you think about the multiple 2 out of 3 falls matches to the cut down to commercials by stopping the wrestling right before commercial breaks? What are your thoughts on that? I have to answer my door, so kind of go on for a little bit.
Well, Philip goes and answers the door. I'm going to say I think it's a little stupid. I think it's just kind of a put on, just because I understand WWE has commercials that they have to appear to, but wrestling's a sport. You can have them wrestle throughout the commercial break, and even when those commercial breaks happen, usually they don't really do anything. They just kind of grab a chin lock, or if Randy Orton's case, he just grabs a chin lock for the majority of the match. I think it is kind of stupid, especially with these just random 2 out of 3 falls matches, because it doesn't really make any sense to why you would do it. But I think
I have returned.
Thank you. There is a time and a place for a 2 out of 3 falls match. I think they are a little not conceived, but I think kind of illogical at time. Contrived. Thank you very much. That sometimes those first 2 falls happen within 10 minutes. When if it was just a regular singles match, it would take them 12 or 15 minutes to get 1 fall.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. Dude, Vince has been in this game for 40 plus years. I don't know why he just decided to do this. I feel like I'm saying this every single week, but man, just stop it. Just go back and there wasn't a lot going on during the commercials anyway. It was just a couple rest holds. That's fine. Somebody can go take a piss break real quick during a commercial. We know when it goes on commercials, so it really wasn't that big of a deal, man. We weren't missing much. I'm going to read... He sent a couple more. I'm just going to read one more from Kawam. What's the number 1 gimmick in WWE nowadays that you're personally sick of seeing? I'm tired of looking at No Way Jose. I do not want him on my TV screen anymore. Thank you very much.
The gimmick that I'm tired of seeing.
On WWE, yeah.
Honestly, I can't really think of one that I just, completely despise. Maybe if we go through the show, maybe I can pick one. But I mean, as of this moment, there's not like one person in particular that I just cannot stand. It used to be Ty Dillinger, but he's not there anymore.
Dude, wow. He's a perfect 10. He was a really nice guy, man. You should meet him at the Sucker Free show. He was super chill.
I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'm just saying I didn't like what he was doing on WWE.
Okay, that's fine. That's personally fine. All right, Jack of all trades. I heard Brandon say he doesn't listen to the show back. Why is that?
Because if I lived it, why do I got to listen back to it?
Oh, okay. And then there's a second part of this question. And Philip, do you listen to the show back? Also, who does the production for the podcast? Well, I do listen to the show back after I listen to all the other podcasts that I listen to. I do feel like it's personally it's good to listen to your stuff back because you can learn about what you did and what you didn't do, and the things you can do to improve. And then also production. I do the production for everything that is not under the radar.
And my NXT takeover reports.
Yes. If it says NXT recap or under the radar, Brandon does the production for all that.
Whoever the host is, that's who does the production.
Yeah, it's that simple, guys. It's really that simple.
So you can compare and contrast this to UTR, and you know who does what.
Absolutely. What else we got? Hootie Hoo 420. What match?
Again.
Yes. What match should you show a non-wrestling fan to get them interested? Oh God. Well,
I always don't like this question because I'm a person that's like, I'm not going to force you to like something. Like, if you don't like wrestling, and I mean, if you don't like wrestling, so be it. I mean, if I want to show you a match, I'm not going to sit down and show you, Kenny and Okada go 60 minutes because you're not going to understand. I think something that you want to show is maybe like angles and just like easy to understand things of like, a story being told, through mic work or through an angle. Just because I think a match, it's kind of hard for a non-wrestling fan to really get. Yes, you can watch the video package beforehand, but I think just kind of showing a non-wrestling fan cold a match is kind of hard to do because they're not going to really understand it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You know my boy Tyner, right? We've gone to shows with him.
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, he's not really a fan, but I let him watch AJ and John Cena from that Royal Rumble in 2017, and he loved the match. But I think that's kind of too long. So what you should do, Goldberg and Lesnar from SummerSlam 2016. I mean Survivor Series 2016. It was like a minute 30. Hit him with that, or then hit him with that car wreck that they did at WrestleMania 33 for the Universal title. I think it's 5 minutes. It's perfectly fine. You could show them that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you can go the other route of going with like the big stars. Like you can show them like Rock and Cena because you'd be like, oh, The Rock, John Cena. Like they had this match and it was like really hot and it was a great match. And maybe, Stone Cold, or I don't really know if I'd show them a Hogan match just because a Hogan match didn't do a whole lot. But I mean, I kind of agree with you. Those short, quick, high octane matches are fun. Another one is maybe just like CM Punk and John Cena, just because I think the story is kind of easy to understand. It's like he wins a championship, he leaves the company, and then he's in his hometown, and the crowd's going crazy. I think that's kind of the one longer match I would show somebody, just because of how hot and insane the crowd was. Yeah,
I'm gonna get through the rest of these real quick. Jack of all trades. If this was 1998, The Fiend versus Mankind would be big money. That's possibly true. I'm not gonna discredit you. Copenhagen Smith, Wednesdays are about to get elite. We already discussed that. HBK versus Ziggler, SummerSlam, take my money right effing now. I would love to see Dolph and Shawn go at it. I think that should have been what Shawn Michaels should have came out of retirement for. Just throwing that out there.
I hate to burst your bubble, but I don't think we're going to get Shawn Michaels versus Dolph Ziggler at SummerSlam. I think it's going to be The Miz versus Ziggler.
Yeah, Copenhagen, that's not happening, buddy. I'm sorry. All right, let's hit another Raw recap. Here we go. It was the Raw reunion. What better way to kick it off than with Big Match John? He apologizes for not being here as much as he used to be, but he says this is his home. I miss John Cena, man.
I mean, it was kind of nice to see him back. It was kind of, welcome home. It wasn't hostile. It was just a fun-loving, event. Yes, it was John Cena. He was a little corny, but It was cool.
Yeah, then he had a little rap battle with the Usos. He said they look just like their mug shots, which I'm not gonna lie, I chuckled at that. I thought that was interesting. And then the Usos bring out their dad, and then the Revival go up against the Usos in a tag team match. The Revival have Devon Dudley, oh my brother, testify, in their corner. Usos go over Revival.
Easy, simple stuff here. Have the baby faces go over. It is the tag team champions losing, but, this was kind of a feel-good show, so I'm not going to complain about it too much.
What are you going to do? All right, coming up, we have Drew McIntyre is disgusted by the quote-unquote legends. I didn't know Alicia Fox became a legend, did you?
I did not. I didn't know she crossed that threshold.
I mean, first ever. I mean, the only African-American Divas champion? Yes, absolutely. She was there. Tori Wilson was there.
How come Maria wasn't with her? Because they're basically from the same draft class.
I mean, Maria's a part of the. I don't know, man. That's interesting. I mean, Alicia Fox is a legend because she's the only African American Divas champion. That's why she's a legend.
Shout out Alicia Fox. Hopefully, she's gotten back on the straight and narrow.
Yeah. Oh God, yes. She's the reason why Arn Anderson was at StarCast. Just throwing that out there. Yeah, but Caitlyn, she was out there. Celeste Bonin, shout out. I enjoyed Caitlyn. I'm not gonna lie to you, I did. I liked her little feud with AJ Lee. What was it like to see Caitlyn back on TV?
It was great. It was a little surprise. I honestly wasn't expecting Caitlyn. I love her. She's a good follow on Instagram once again.
Yes.
Now we need AJ to come back. We need my girl to come back.
Dude, there were a lot. I saw Jillian Hall there. I'm like, oh my God, what is she doing there?
Candice Michelle, 24/7 champion.
Oh, dude, we're gonna get into all of that. So Drew McIntyre decimates Cedric Alexander. They didn't have a match. Thoughts on McIntyre getting rid of Alexander that quick?
I know I don't listen back to the tape, but I strictly remember that I said last week that the next time these two face off, Drew McIntyre is just going to squash Cedric Alexander. So I don't want to toot my own horn, but shout out to Arn Anderson, toot.
Dude, somebody's listening to us, man. I keep telling you. I don't know who in Stamford, Connecticut is tapping in and listening to the pod, but they're following the instructions we give here on the BC.
I mean, that wasn't really instructions. It was
well, not instruction, but
they're going to do this, and it's like it just hurts everybody because now Drew lost to the Jobber, and then the Jobber just gets squashed by him. So now Drew looks even worse because he actually lost to him. When he should have just killed him.
But they're listening. So that's all I have to say about it. Moving on from that, the Viking War Raider Experience defeats Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins with Christian on commentary. I love Captain Charisma.
He's okay for a Canadian.
Wow, dude, Christian had a good run.
He's okay.
Really?
He's cool.
You didn't like Christian Cage in TNA?
I mean that was the only way for him to get a push and become a world champion.
He was a world champion in WWE.
After he came back from TNA and they felt bad, so like, okay, Christian, we'll give you a world title.
He earned it. What do you mean? He climbed the ladder and pulled down the world championship. Nobody handed it to him.
Just like all great world champions before. They climbed a ladder and grabbed it out of a latch.
Some people win championships that way. Okay?
I don't remember Bruno ever doing that.
Oh, yes. In 1965, they were having ladder matches in the Garden.
Yep. Kendo stick on a pole matches and everything, bro.
Oh my God. All right, and then Maria tears down Mike Kanellis again. We get to see Eric Bischoff on TV. His theme song didn't hit. I was trying to pop for it. I was trying to pop huge for it. And then there's Jimmy Hart, the mouth of the South. He's going to be at the next StarCast in Chicago. Ron Simmons was there. He says damn with the megaphone. I popped huge for that. Thoughts on this segment?
It was fine. I mean, we all knew Ron Simmons was going to be there, and they were going to do some sort of shenanigans. So there you go. There's your shenanigans.
Damn. Yeah. But was it good? Was it okay?
It was cool.
I'll try. Yeah, all right, so Samoa Joe's out there cutting a promo, and he's saying how he doesn't like this Raw reunion with all these legends. And I've always wanted the current roster basically to say, you guys, this is our time now. You guys had your time. And that's basically what Joe McIntyre and Zayn were going to get to him. That's basically what they were doing all night. Roman Reigns comes out there because, Joe was talking about the Usos and Rikishi. They have a match, and Roman goes over. Roman must pose.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the promo by Samoa Joe, and I was like, okay, we're going to get Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam, or maybe they're going to book it for next week to kind of get the fans who watch this show to tune into next week. No, they just put it on TV, no build, and Roman Reigns wins because Roman Reigns, you got to make Roman Reigns look good.
Roman must pose. Ooh-wah. Yes. You know how Hogan says brother after like every word? I feel like Roman should say ooh-wah after every word.
Hopefully the people listening in Stanford heard us, and they proposed that to Vince, so then we're just going to get Roman doing that every single time. That's how you get him over.
This is my yard. Ooh-wah. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I dig it. All right, so we had an episode of Ms. TV. And Seth Rollins was on it, talking about, Brock Lesnar and all this other stuff. But he talks about how he's going to, burn it down in the ring with AJ Styles later on in the night. What'd you think of that, real quick?
It was a fine segment. I didn't really think it was a good week for Seth Rollins. I thought he came across pretty corny this week.
Yeah? Oh yeah. Well, while Moxley's over there being a badass in Japan, Seth is, we're going to get into what Seth did later on in the show. So Mysterio defeats Sami Zayn after Zayn says he doesn't respect any of the legends in the back. And so Zayn's going to walk away, and RVD's music hit. I guess if you work for TNA or Impact Wrestling, you can just appear on WWE TV. I popped huge for Van Dam, Sergeant Slaughter, Kurt Angle. It was all a good time. Good
to see Rey Mysterio getting the win, but not good to see Sami Zayn getting the loss, especially since he hasn't really been on TV lately.
Yeah. Shout out to the Street Profits. They are hilarious. Angelo Dawkins putting in eye drops saying he was hanging out with RVD.
I don't find it hilarious. I find it annoying, and I love the Street Profits on NXT. I don't like the Street Profits on WWE.
Come on. I chuckled at the RVD part. I was like, I get it.
Montez Ford is so much better than what they're giving him right now.
That is very true. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's incredibly right. What's their little show that they do? It was like Street Talk or something that they do down in NXT when they cut promos.
It's not really like a show. It's more just like them talking in the parking lot.
Yes, something like that. All right, so we get AJ Styles losing via DQ to Seth Rollins because the OC, they're out there causing mischief, and DX comes out there, Hunter and Sean, followed by Jesse James, X-Pac, Kevin Nash, and Scott Hall. It's like a Kliq NWO DX mixture that's happening at the moment, and Seth Rollins is living the childhood dream. If you're not down with that, I got 2 words for you, and he says it with the old guys. Yeah.
I mean, I said it earlier. This was supposed to be Ricochet spot. I thought Seth kind of came across a little corny. I do like the meme going around the internet where Seth Rollins is just standing on the outside, just looking at all the Kliq guys hugging each other, and Seth looks so lonely.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's funny.
Poor Seth. But he's the man's man, so it's okay.
I think they're getting as far away from that as possible now.
Good.
Yeah, that did not work out for Seth Rollins at all. His run as champ did not really go that well. All right, so Mick Foley. Foley is good. He returns to Monday Night Raw, and The Fiend attacks him.
I love this. I thought it was a good, straightforward, kind of weird passing of the torch moment with Bray Wyatt using the mandible claw on Mick Foley. Mick Foley can't bump, but he sure as hell can, slowly fall down from a mandible claw.
Hey, man. I've been hit with the mandible claw. It's not fun.
It doesn't look fun. Someone's fingers get shoved down your mouth.
With a sock. You don't know where that sock's been. Yeah. All right, there was a moment of bliss in Becky Lynch and Natalya Brawl.
Pretty straightforward action. I did like the promo that Natalya cut afterwards. There was no shenanigans. It was just a straightforward promo and her reacting to what happened.
I'm so freaking tuned lately. Braun Strowman defeats a jobber, Randy Rowe. Don't know who he is. Got a nice little payday. Congratulations, Randy.
This is what Braun Strowman should be doing.
Yes. All right. Drake Maverick, Pat Patterson-Gerald, Briscoe, Kelly, Candice Michelle, Alundra Blayze, Ted DiBiase, R-Truth. They all become 24/7 champion. Brandon, did you ever think that Pat Patterson, Gerald Briscoe, Kelly, Candice Michelle, and Alundra Blayze, along with Ted DiBiase, would ever win a championship again, especially in 2019?
I did not, but this was a surprisingly fun little shtick they had going throughout the show. I was happy to see Pat Patterson getting one of the biggest pops of the night. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, dude, look, I know we all crapped on the 24/7 title. It's still atrocious. It really grew on me. When Kelly won the 24/7 title, I popped huge for it. I really did. I fell in love with her all over again, man.
Okay, good for you.
Wow. Kelly is a very attractive woman. How dare you?
I didn't say she wasn't.
She was decent in the ring, too, man. I'm not going to lie.
Shout out Alundra Blayze. Met her at StarCast. Very nice lady.
Oh, I didn't get a chance to talk to her.
Shout out Medusa.
Shout out Medusa. Ted DiBiase. So here's the thing. Ted DiBiase buys... shout out to the guy who was running the the wiki page for the 24/7 title. That guy deserves a big raise. So Ted DiBiase buys the championship. It counts. When he bought the WWE title back in the 80s, it didn't count. Did some rules change or something in the last 30 years?
Yeah, I think the commission looked it over and said that buying a championship is acceptable for the right price.
Okay, I got you. All right, we're going to move on to SmackDown Live. Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon is set for SummerSlam.
I mean, pretty straightforward, kind of what we thought was going to happen. Hopefully KO wins, Shane goes bye-bye, but, got to make the McMahons look good, so maybe something's going to happen.
Absolutely. And then it's set for later on in the night, Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. They're going to square off with Drew McIntyre as the referee. What was Elias' job? Was he the timekeeper?
He was the timekeeper even though he didn't have a watch.
That's very true. And then Shane was a special guest ring announcer or something. Anyway, they wrestled to a no contest. Superman punches and stunners.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of saw this coming with all the shenanigans on the outside that this was going to end at a smosh. It did. We get some stunners, Superman punches, some ooh-ahs, and there you go.
Oh my God!
Everybody's happy.
I almost forgot. Monday Night Raw, Stone Cold. He gave a toast. How could I forget? How could I forget Steve Austin?
You just simply can't.
You can't. I know. I enjoyed the promo. It's what Austin does. Hell yeah. Beer bath for everybody.
I mean, I love this, how much I love my boy Stone Cold, and it was just authentic. It was just a good time, and I kind of say this a lot on the podcast that, I think one of the things that is hurting WWE is that it doesn't feel authentic, and that promo Stone Cold cut felt real, and a lot of the things on TV don't. They just feel scripted, and we can talk about Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville's promo a little bit later, but
Oh my God. We're going to get into that. Jesus. But yeah, so going back to SmackDown, Randy Orton accepts Kofi Kingston's challenge. They did what I hoped they were going to do, and they were going to talk about the history between these guys and what was going on. Was it November 16th, 2009? The boom drop heard around the world in Madison Square Garden that Kofi delivers to Orton. And then Kofi's push really went downhill with that match that they had. I found out, I think that was on my birthday in 2010. I'm going to have to do my research. I'm pretty sure it was. But yeah, Randy's just saying stupid. And there was speculation that Randy did use his backstage influence to stop Kofi's push. They addressed that, which I really, really liked. What are your thoughts on the promo and the match that's being set?
I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. I mean, we said it last week that they should be doing this, so I think this just proves that people in Stanford are listening to us. The match itself probably isn't going to be all that great, but they're taking a good first step in telling a pretty good story.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Randy, I'm excited, man. Randy can go, bro.
I don't know about that.
Dude,
he can go to a solid 3.5-star match.
What if Randy Orton left, went to New Japan, and won next year's G1? How pissed would you be?
I wouldn't be pissed as long as he puts in a good performance.
No, it's the same. It's the same work rate as right now.
Yeah, well, at least there's going to be whatever 30 other matches that I can enjoy.
Wow.
More than that, I don't even know how many there are. What? Nah, that's too many. That's too much math for me right now.
I understand, dude. Kofi Kingston defeats Samoa Joe via DQ. Orton drops Joe with an RKO, and then Randy gets hit with a Trouble in Paradise.
Yeah, just they keep Samoa Joe kind of strong, I guess, even though he just lost to Roman Reigns. But everybody wants to see the RKO, and we get Trouble in Paradise, and bada boom, building up SummerSlam. Kofi lays him out, which means we're probably gonna see an RKO next week.
Absolutely. Shinsuke Nakamura, the Intercontinental Champion, goes on to defeat Apollo Crews. And then Shinsuke just attacks him after the match.
It was a solid match. I thought the New Day on commentary were absolutely atrocious. They were just overbearing. Shout out Byron Saxon. Thoughts and prayers with them with his father passing away.
Oh my God.
Apparently, what's going on with Corey Graves? I think he's like on a movie set or something. So they had the New Day filling in for them, and it was not a good hour of commentary.
Dude, what's wrong with the New Day, bro?
They were just a little too much.
How are they a little too much? They're entertaining. They're incredibly entertaining.
They the New Day for 10 minutes is fine. The New Day for an hour, not fine.
Really? Is that how you...
I mean, the idea of commentary is supposed to be adding to the match, and I thought they took away from the match.
I don't know about all that, man. I really don't. Jesus, why did that pop up? I don't know. So, all right, we're gonna talk about this promo backstage segment that happened with Mandy and Sonya. I can't do it this week, man. I cannot. I will not. Actually, you know what? Should I just play the promo?
She doesn't deserve it anyways.
Should I play the promo for the people?
I mean, if you want to, we're running a little long.
We are running a little.
They can see it if they want to.
Yeah, you can go watch it. So anyway, Mandy goes up and tells Sonya that next week we have a tag team title match against the Iconics, and Sonya's like, if we win, we get a tag team title match. And oh God, Moxley said that it takes
No. You completely butchered that. You Mandy and Sonya that. Mandy told Sonya that they told Shane what the Iconics said, what Kevin Owens said, and then they're going to have a match next week. And then Sonya said, oh, so if we win, that means we get a title shot next week or whatever, or whatchamacallit. And the Mandy was like, yeah, if we win, we get a title match.
Yes. I'm not going to lie to you. I saw that little bit on Instagram and I was kind of half asleep, so I just threw all that in there. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Keep it honest, keep it 100 here on the BC. But yeah, this it's not their best work. Brandon? Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what's going on here. I can no longer hear Brandon. It might just be me for the remainder. Be 100% honest with you. It's not looking good over here for the BC. As we try to get back connected with Brandon, ladies and gentlemen. Brandon, is that you?
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yes.
Oh, look at that. We're just completely falling apart right now.
Yeah, I hope the people enjoyed the ramble.
Hopefully they did.
Yes. Yeah. Let's wrap this up before that happens again. Hello? Brandon?
Hello.
Yeah. Okay. So what are your thoughts on the promo?
Which promo?
The Mandy Rose one. That was absolute trash.
It was trash.
Oh, all right. Miz TV. So this was cool. Shawn Michaels is out there as a guest on Miz TV. Dolph Ziggler comes out, says Shawn was embarrassing, like Goldberg in a wrestling ring. I was like, oh my god, that's good-ish. And then super kick to Shawn Michaels, and yeah.
I very much enjoyed this whole Miz TV segment with Dolph and Shawn. I thought Shawn was fantastic. I thought he was much better than what he was doing on Blood Money 3 or Blood Money 2, whatever the hell that one was. But yeah.
Absolutely. So I guess that's what Copenhagen was talking about.
Yeah. Shout out Copenhagen.
Shout out Copenhagen. He slid into your not into your DMs, but he gave you some questions for Under the Radar last week, right?
Yes, he did, and I answered them.
Wow.
If you want to send them my way again, you can slide into the Bulletcast DMs, or you can just tweet at me personally, because I think I'm going to be doing the Under the Radar tomorrow, full G1 coverage, and we got some NXT, and we got the return of Miz and Mrs.
Oh, that's exciting. All right, Ember Moon goes on to defeat Charlotte Flair, and then she throws Bayley into the ring, and then she drops Charlotte with an Eclipse, and Ember Moon stands tall.
Yeah, I mean, this should be a high-profile match, but it just ended like a minute. And as the emailer said earlier, what is going on with the women's division in WWE?
Yeah, Kawam has some
Some
points
qualms
there.
about it.
Hello! Alright, and then Bray Wyatt accepted Finn Balor's challenge. I was really hoping that, I didn't say this on the show, but I was hoping that they wouldn't forget the Pee Wee Herman, Mr. Rogers portion of the new Bray Wyatt character, and they didn't. I was really, really happy that they didn't forget that part.
Yeah, I thought it was a nice little change-up of the character. We still got to see the Fiend at the very end. I don't know how they're going to incorporate Nice Bray with Evil Bray. I am intrigued, though, but hopefully they keep it human Finn. He gets decimated, Finn goes away for a little bit, and then we get to see the Demon maybe at the Royal Rumble or WrestleMania.
It's all a possibility. And in order to get that, all you have to do is let me in. Was that creepy enough?
Sounded just like Bray Wyatt.
That's what I'm here for, man. All right, Superstar Spotlight. Who do you got? Who do you got? You know what? Kelly. It may never happen again. Superstar Spotlight pick from ya boy, the Podfather. Congratulations, Kelly. Made it to the Superstar Spotlight of the BC.
I think last week my Superstar Spotlight was Tomohiro Ishii. Not going to go with him, but I'm going to go with his opponent from a few days ago, Jon Moxley. Possibly his best match ever in his career. Took on Ishii in G1 Climax action. Don't even know what night it was. There's just too much stuff to go around. If I can pull it up quick enough, it is night 7, night 5, I don't know, night 6, something like that. But anyways, great match. Jon Moxley, Ishii, go check it out.
Go check it out. All right, the promo pick of the week. Edge's retirement promo, Monday Night Raw, April 11th, 2011. Look, people cry at Bambi when the deer dies. People cry at the Lion King when what's that dude's name? Simba or Mufasa falls off.
Wow! Shout out Lion King.
Off of the
highest grossing opening weekend for a movie in July ever.
Okay, look, that's not the point. The point is, grown men cry when it comes to Edge's retirement speech, man. I think that was really one of the most shocking moments of my fandom when he said he had to retire. I was like, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it kind of just came out of nowhere. It wasn't like the Page or the Daniel Bryan one where he kind of saw it coming. I mean, the night before he just won the world title, and now he's having to deliver this retirement speech. So it just kind of came out of nowhere and just kind of hit us all in the gut.
I mean, that last couple months of his career. I mean, he was stripped of the world title, won it back from Ziggler, defended it against Del Rio, and then to retire as world heavyweight champion. Only people who have ever done that are Edge and Trish Stratus when she retired as women's champion, and both of them are Canadian.
Those damn Canadians are selfish, man.
Wow.
It's hogging the title.
Dude, look, it's not their fault, bro. It's not their fault.
I mean, Trish didn't have to go out on top. She could have done the job. That's how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to, look at the lights in your last match.
That's not always the case, man.
Anyways, match pick of the week. We got more G1 Climax action. We got Will Ospreay, the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, going up against Kazuchika Okada, the IWGP Heavyweight Champion. Great story told. Fantastic match. Maybe the best match of this G1. Maybe the best match of the year thus far. Highly, highly recommend you check that out. As well as the Ishii Jon Moxley match. I think those are two of the best matches of the G1. One in Block A, one in Block B. Absolutely fantastic. And some block action, some Block B action, I believe, happened early this morning. Haven't seen it yet, but definitely we'll recap it on Under the Radar tomorrow.
Hey, there you go. There you go. Okada, I think he's just turned 30. He's like 31. Very impressive. Will Ospreay, he's in his 20s still. The kid, he's doing great work, but he's not the best in the world. We all know the title belongs to Shane McMahon. I'm going to really have to catch up on the G1. Shout out to the dudes who throw the matches up for free on Facebook. I have a lot of them saved to a profile, so I'm just going to have to really run through them. I really want to watch the Ishii and Moxley match since you've been talking a lot of high praise about it lately.
I mean, I absolutely loved the match. Started a little slow, kind of all over the place. There were some headbutts going back and forth that I was not a fan of. But all in all, as always, in Ishii and New Japan matches, at the end, it definitely picks up, and those reverses and everything are just insane. I mean, I'm not going to spoil the finish for Will Ospreay versus Okada, but I'm just going to say they do a spot where it's a Rainmaker into a Spanish Fly.
Really?
Absolutely insane.
Absolutely insane, eh?
I pop huge for it. You keep saying, I pop huge for this, I pop huge for this. I'm not going to lie, I pop huge for this Rainmaker and its Spanish Fly.
Oh, is there a problem with me popping huge for things?
No, there's nothing wrong with you popping. You can pop as much as you want.
Okay.
I ain't going to judge.
Hey, man, that's why you gotta say it like that, man?
Because we've gone like an hour and 15 minutes and I'm going insane.
Are you really? I'm sorry. I really am.
Insane in the membranes.
Yes.
Shout out Cypress Hill.
Oh, wow. Today's J-Lo's birthday. Happy birthday, J-Lo.
Happy 50th birthday, J-Lo. I love you.
Jesus Christ.
A-Rod doesn't deserve you, J-Lo. You can do better. He's a cheater and a fraud.
Hey, you really can do better. Your boy's over here. He's single. You know what I mean. The CM Punk meet and greet prices are out now. Ladies and gentlemen, go get them.
Lay it on me. How much is it?
Let's actually find that out, right? I just realized Colt Cabana's going to be there too. Isn't that going to be awkward for those guys?
Maybe we're going to get a run in. They're just going to fight, and maybe CM Punk gets served right there. I don't know what's going to happen.
We don't know what's going to happen. If this would load properly,
I'm going to say 160. No, I'm going to go 175 for a photo and an autograph.
You're going to go 175. Where Medusa, yada yada. Dude, he's not showing here though. They say they're on sale now, but I don't see him here. I do not see him here.
I'm gonna do my own special thing right here. I'm gonna see if I can find it.
Yeah,
as we just stall.
I don't know.
We just stall and stuff.
I mean, well, I'll start doing the close. Maybe you'll find it in between. Ladies and gentlemen, follow us on Twitter at Bulletcast, Instagram The Bulletcast, YouTube channel Bulletcast. Email us questions, please. Bulletcast2 is in the number 2, sweet SWET at gmail.com. 99.9 FM KW in Watsonville every Friday night from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Patreon. We're all over the damn place. Under the Radar coming from Brandon. What you said tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow. Bulletcast titles on the line in a couple weeks. We got All Out. We have NXT TakeOver Toronto. We have SummerSlam. It's going to be on the line for all of those. I'm still Bulletcast in the bank. I could cash it in right before then to take my championship back, but I'm not going to do that. I want to make Brandon wait a little bit longer. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to the BC. Brandon, have you found the pricing yet? Yes or no?
I am scrolling, and it is not on sale yet.
It is not on sale yet. Twitter, you are an absolute liar. Ladies and gentlemen,
Colt
thank you.
Cabana is $19.
Wow,
Shout out to him.
There you go. I think Pharaoh and Cody are like 50-something bucks. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to the BC. Next week on Wednesday, that's when your boys will be back. Until then, we will see you next time.
This has been the Bulletcast. Thank you for listening.